Good evening, everyone. 皆さんこんばんは。Thank you for joining us here at the Chula Vista 講社 for our October Monthly Ceremony. チュラビスタ講社の10月の月並み祭にみんなと共に使いさせていただくことができ、本当にありがたいなと思います。Without any further ado, let's begin today's monthly ceremony. よろしくお願いいたします。これからお祭りの方に入らせていただきたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。Oh, this is long. お、ありがとうございました。一度入れ、four sincere claps. ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。今日そこ、金光さんどうぞ、心と体にお入りくださいませ。今日そ金光大臣様ご祭をはじめに愛金光様ご祭、三大金光様ご祭、四大金光様ご祭、五大金光様ご祭、六大金光様ご祭、日々の御取り次ぎ、働き声を厚込んで申し上げる。これから月並み祭に始めます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。初代王先生、二代王先生、三代王先生、井川正親先生、長木小平先生、高橋春道光先生、高田玉先生、吉高龍右衛門先生、高橋春子姫の御田の神様、感謝で、どうぞ今日のでは共にお使いいただきますよう、よろしくお願い申し上げたてまつります。お願いいたします。Prayer of Sincere 取り次ぎ。I'm a 金光教 believer. I believe in 生き神金光大臣、天地金乃神。I've come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami, honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same, as long as I practice the faith and receive Toritsugi. Kigami Konko Daijin sama Tenchi Kane no Kami sama. Thank you. 一度入れ、four sincere claps. 感謝いたします。ありがとうございました。一度入れ、four sincere claps. ありがとうございます。天津のりと高間の原にかむずまります。 かむろぎかむろみのみこともちてすめみおやかむいざなぎのみことつくしんひゅうがのたちばなのおどのあわぎはらにみそぎあらいたまうときにあれませるあらいどのおかみたちもろもろの我がごと罪汚れを払い、たまい清めたまえと申すことのよしおはまず、神国つ神やおよろずの神たちともに雨のふちこまん、耳振り立ててきこしめせと、かしこみかしこす。ありがとうございます。大ぬさ行事 Purification Rite。ありがとうございます。With each wave, may each and every one of your diseases and discomforts, pain and suffering, and all impurities and negativities be dispelled to the great and vast universe. Allow each and every one of us to be in the purest state of mind, as we are favored, blessed, and protected by the great love, virtue, and energy of Tenchi Kane no Kami. 感謝いたします。取り次ぎ Reading of the 取り次ぎ prayer。 ありがとうございます。一度敬礼 Please bow your heads in prayer。 慎みてひがみ金光大臣の御前に間を割く今より今日発信と金光教三礼語教会チュラビスタ講社の金水月の天地金の神月並祭並びに月御霊祭り取り行わんとす。教祖金光大臣様、歴代金光様、現教主金光様をはじめ、金光教大阪教会、一広教会、玉水親教会、三霊語教会、ホノルル教会、ヒューラーズ教会、安倍の教会、ワヒヤワ教会、各教会、初代教会長、歴代教会長、現教会長の御徳をすがり申し、今日の御祭り使え祭らんとす。これあぎょこなわん礼儀教区5日に、おろがみ祭り信奉者もろもろ、おのものも身を正し、心新たにいただかしめたまえと、半取り次恋ネギ立て祭りて、かしこみもまおす。Kigami Kongko Daijin, I seek your Toritsugi for today's service. Today, we conduct the October Tenchi Kane Monthly Ceremony and the memorial service here at the Kōsha Shinto Kongko Church of San Diego's branch Hiromai, the Chula Vista Kōsha. As someone without virtue, I seek to receive and cling to the virtue of Kongko Daijin, the successive Kongko Samas, and the present Kongko Sama, as well as the founding, past, and present head ministers of the Kongko churches of Osaka, Michihiro, Tamamizu, San Diego, Honolulu, Razu, Abeno, and Wahiawa for today's service. Today, the believers and I come together with our hearts, bodies, and minds, refreshed, purified, and ready for today's service. Thank you. 感謝いたします。 Now, please raise your heads. ありがとうございました。ありがとうござい感謝いたします。感謝ありがとうございます。Please open your prayer books to page 3 for the Kami prayer. Reverently we pray. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth. Time flows without cease. Years pass without end. Heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is a truth that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Tenchi Kane no Kami. Let us praise divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daijin, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing, began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The Divine Parent's great wish was thus fulfilled. Konko Daijin accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day, he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth. And he knew not the coming of night. By night, he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered. And he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Tenchi Kakitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. The divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way, through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul. The way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami. Without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray. So we earnestly pray. Reading, Norito Sojo, reading of the main prayer. Oops. Please bow your heads in prayer. Hare, ラベンダーの顔に吠える秋の10月29日はも。ここサンディエゴにおきましては、神名月の巡り来たりて、天の恵みによりて、雨降り、山川潤い、庭先には日の光は柔らかく、風は心地よく吹き渡る。 かくもるは式焼の気配をいただきて、天地金の神の広き見恵みを仰ぎ立て祭るなり。加減幕も賢き、天地金の神の大広前、極み金剛大臣の渦の見前に、かしこみも魔をすく。You're at this purified and blessed site of the Kōsha Shinto Konko Church of San Diego, Chula Vista Kōsha. Your beloved children are here this evening with purified hearts, minds, and bodies. In one heart and mind, with hearts full of love and joy, appreciation and sincerity, for the blessings, favors, grace, interventions, protections, and guidance we receive daily. We offer prayers of appreciation for the daily goyo of our spiritual patriarch Kyoshu Konko-sama, the Reverend Hiromichi Konko, and his wife Nobuko Sensei. Please keep him and his wife healthy in order for them to continue with their daily goyo. We thank you for our parent church and head minister Konko Church of Tamamizu, Reverend Masao Yukawa. Please keep him and his wife, Noboe Sensei, as well as the associate ministers and the trainees healthy and strong so that they can continue with their daily service to both you and the Ujuku of Osaka and beyond. We ask you to stand by and give us the strength to be the light of faith. As we practice our faith, let our light grow and glow taller, farther and wider. Let our faith be the beacon of hope for Ohana, friends, co-workers, neighbors, and our fellow brothers and sisters. Kami-sama, help us to embrace and raise those who have been oppressed and forgotten. And give us the courage to speak for those who are voiceless. It is our prayer that the spring of virtue from headquarters will continue to shower the Chula Vista Kōsha, the San Diego and Whittier Rose Hills churches, and the Hiromais in Mexico, as well as the North County San Diego gathering, with its amazing power to not only help the Mitama, but also those seeking to be saved. It is our prayer that in 2025, your light will be lit with gathering and services in Mexico. Talk has begun with believers in Tijuana and Mexico City in preparation for Takashi Sensei to share your heart and virtue with the Ujiko in Mexico. Grant Takashi Sensei your wisdom and support as he embraces the recitation of the teachings in Espanol and begins an earnest study of Spanish. May his efforts blossom and inspire many to walk the path of faith and gratitude. We ask for your protection and guidance with every step we take. Please give us the strength to move forward in all aspects of our lives. We pray that people will be attracted to the light of the Kōsha and want to attend the Kōsha to deepen their relationship with you. Here in the United States, we find ourselves in unprecedented times, a land clouded by uncertainty. From the cruelty of ICE to the fear instilled by those posing as its agents, we witness daily the abuse of power and the erosion of compassion. These injustices sow fear not only among immigrants, but even among U.S. citizens themselves. We pray for mercy instead of mistreatment. We pray that authority be exercised with wisdom, not wielded with harm. We pray that those who truly endanger others are brought to justice, and those who seek only safety and dignity are left in peace. We lift our voices for the immigrant, those who come to this land not to take, but to build, to contribute, and to hope. Thus, we turn our hearts to those seeking safety in a new land. We think of the refugee mother fleeing war with nothing but her children in her arms. The father escaping violence, willing to risk everything so his family might live. The child arriving alone at the border. Small hands clutching a photo of the parents who could not join them. We humbly ask you, Tenchi Kane no Kami, to watch over the vulnerable, to shield those in fear, and to awaken within all hearts the courage to act with justice and compassion. May we as a people remember that hospitality is a sacred act. May we rise not with walls and weapons, but with open hands and hearts ready to receive. 天下太平小国成就、総じ込みの安全、世界真の平和達成のご神願ご成就の役に立たせていく事故に、本取り立ててくださいますよう、御願い申し上げ立て祭ります。神様、we implore you to guide us in our hearts and our actions to be embracing, loving, kind, and generous. Guide us to be the light so that where there is hatred, we will sow love. Where there is injury, we will find the strength to offer forgiveness. Where there is discord, we will strive to build peace. In the craziness taking place in the United States and the world, may the divinity and sanctity of both the Kōsha and church be a home where people can find safety and solace, hope and joy, as well as your love and virtue. May the Kōsha continue to receive the divinity and virtue of the headquarters worship hall, as well as that of the San Diego Church and our parent church, the Konko Church of Tamamizu, in order to reveal Ikami Konko Daijin's Toritsugi mediation to the people of Chula Vista, Mexico, and other parts of San Diego County. Let this Kōsha be filled with love and virtue, joy and glory to help heal the hearts of those seeking to be saved. This Kōsha, as well as the San Diego Church, is a safe space for our LGBTQ plus Ohana. In solemn reverence, we beseech that your virtue and splendor ascend lofty heights, gracing our families, friends, and neighbors with the blessings of health, happiness, and abundance. May your divine presence reach the heavens, guiding the rains to descend not only upon San Diego County, but across the expanse of California and the realms of our neighboring states, countries, and lands, replenishing the waters we have too often overlooked. Our fervent prayer is that the rain may grace us with its presence at least once or twice weekly, allowing 4 inches of its precious gift to gently settle into our reservoirs and aquifers with each gracious outpouring. 親先生、御取り次ぎの御心はおぎ祭り、我ら信奉者愛ともに心新たに求めゆき、秋風のそぎのそよぎとともに、誠の影をように表さんの願いをいただきて、親教会玉水の流れを源と仰ぎ、壮麗御霊の導きとお守りをいただきつつ、教派神道根高教サンディエゴ教会のご造営、再建、再復旧、並びにメキシコなるへの布教を心一つにし、力を叶え、らしく進め祭らんと、今月今日、誠心誠意をもって祈り祭る。神様、we pray that together with you, we continue to live in safety, prosperity, abundance, good health, and joy. We pray that our relationship with you will continue to deepen, and we will learn to cling to you in all aspects of our lives. 昇進、氏子の願礼場所、新人の稽古場所とある働きを日に日に表さしめたまい、信奉者もろもろは管理徳の中に生かされ、すべてのもののお世話に預かりて、あるを深くいやび、ようよ新人の道にいそしましめたまい、心まめやかに、いそこやけく、家の営み、世の務めに、や励みに励み、や務めに努めて、我が道の信奉者たるにふさわしき、管理影を葬り祭らしめたまい、総じ込みの安全、最新の平和実現にさおしく表しめたまい、いよいよ神も助かり、氏子も立ち行く、看護心願を成就の役に立たしめたまうべく、勘導き、勘引き立てたまえと、かしこみ、恋のみ松楽と申す。As I bring this prayer to a close, we ask that you continue to keep us safe and allow us to live in peace and harmony, with courage and faith, in love and joy. We pray that the blessings, glory, and favor of today's service is granted and received by all here today and those who could not join us. Me ke aloha po me hana. Mahalo anui e yami konko daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. Now, please raise your heads. Tamakushi Hoken, offering of the Tamakushi. Chido tomoni haire. 4 sincere claps along with the head officiant. Prayer of the Chula Vista Kōsha. Ikigami Konko Daijin Sama Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama. Ikigami Konko Daijin Sama Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama. Thank you for the blessings we all receive every day. Blessings such as the life we're allowed to live. Blessings such as the food, air, and water that we partake of that sustains our life. Blessings such as the love, support, and care of our ohana and friends. We put our hands together and offer prayers for this city of Chula Vista, its adjacent cities, and the neighborhood that the Kōsha is in, and the country of Mexico. We ask that you continue to protect and develop these areas. We pray for the salvation, joy, and peace of all individuals and spirits that are in these areas. We pray for each individual who lives in these areas that we will be able to receive salvation, live in abundance, and deepen our relationship with you. We pray that people will be attracted to the light of the Kōsha and will join us to learn more about the teachings of Kōsha-sama and to deepen our relationship with you. We pray for true peace to reign within our hearts, throughout our community, and the world. Kigami Konko Daijin-sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama. Kigami Konko Daijin-sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama. Thank you. Oración de adoración. Contemplamos respetuosamente, volviendo nuestros ojos hacia el brillo del cielo. Contemplamos respetuosamente, volviendo nuestros ojos hacia el brillo del cielo. Nos inclinamos reverentemente, volviendo nuestros ojos hacia la tierra rica y densa, viviendo en medio de tanta gracia y la inmensa vida de Dios. Cuán feliz y agradecidos estamos. La medición de Ikigami Konko Daijin no para ni un solo día. La protección de Dios es amplia y alcanza a todos. El amor de Dios fue sin límite por todas las generaciones. La voluntad de Dios es misteriosa y maravillosa, superior a nuestra comprensión. Día a día, todos los días, sincera y respetuosamente, alabaremos las virtudes divinas, reverenciaremos las labores divinas. Chido haire 4 sincere claps. Oops, sorry. Transition to the Mitama altar. ありがとうございました。一度拝礼 4 sincere claps. 感謝いたします。ありがとうございます。Please open your prayer books. Whoops. To page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as a foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. 本部広前はじめ大阪協会、道広協会、玉水親協会、高津南協会、旧シンガポール協会、銀座協会、代々木協会、中田中里協会、バンクーバー協会、サンフランシスコ協会、サンディエゴ協会、北サンディエゴカウンティ集会、チュラビスタ講社のご礼前にお待ち申し上げてみたものです。ありがとうございます。ホノルル協会、笠岡協会、小倉協会、マギ協会、キー協会、高崎協会、安倍野協会、六条院協会、和平協会、旧ラーズ協会、旧大連協会、旧シンガポール協会、岡山中部協会、広協会、北九州畑協会、東畑協会、二岩協会、芝協会、八木協会、浦上協会、龍下協会、肥前山協会、福崎協会、浜田協会のご霊前にお待ち申し上げております。ありがとうございました。三でご不況功労者の御霊せ、厚く御礼申し上げたてまつります。高橋家、宮本家、羽生家、森本家、羽生家、ビーロー家、Otten family, Wong family, Lai family, Kavika family, Yi family, 中原家、Greenhouse 家、青野家、小田家、スタンリー家の統治、親用たちをからやから、もろもろ御霊の神たち、感謝いたします。ありがとうございました。Reading of the Norito。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。指導敬礼 Please bow your heads in prayer. 言わんまくも賢き、これの教派神と、本校教三礼語教会、チュラビスタ講社のご霊殿につきまつるご霊神様に。Starting with the Kandori family, Honko family, Yukawa family, and Takashi family. I respectfully call upon the following to join us today. 金光大臣様のご両親、birth parents of 金光大臣、ご孫父様、Father 神取十平君の御霊の神、ご母堂様、Mother 神取下姫の御霊の神、adoptive parents of 金光大臣、川手久米次郎の御霊の神、川手岩の御霊の神、川手 family、西本 family、赤沢 family、坂東 family、藤井 family、福田 family、ジュエラリー family、後藤 family、hand family、橋本 family、秀島 family、平島 family、平山 family、井川 family、伊藤 family、川上 family、引川 family、吉高 family、高田 family、今度 family、楠木 family、Lim family、松井 family、宮井 family、中原 family、中山 family、新山 family、西 family、大場 family、大田 family、大坪 family、高橋 family、武田 family、立野 family、露木 family、梅本 family、上田 family、渦野 family、安村 family、 Iwasa family, Yukawa family. Ao no family, Asano family, Asato family. Assis family, Vito family, Bissell family, Borunda family, Bui family, Clemmings family, Clare family, Davis family, Day family, Diaz family, Dorman family, Doran family, Feenley family, Flores family, Frank family, Gilmore family, Goya family. Greenhouse family, Habu family, Hattori family, Hirata family, Peck family, Otten family, Ida family, Ishikawa family, Isaacs family, Ito family, Kajiwara family, Kanbayashi family, Kawasaki family, Kawasaki Misako family, Kondo family, Laughlin family, Lazaro family, May family, Mead family, Meek family, Miyamoto family, Morris family, Nakashima family, Nii family, Nishioka family, Nohara family, Pablate family, Pasqua family, Proctor family, Rubio family, Sahara family, Sakata family, Shepherd family, Shintaku family, Shiroma family, Shoji family, Shupert family, Sonoda family, Spies family, Staten family, Sugawara family, Tanaka family, Tanimoto family, Tashiro family, Tatum family, Togodon family, Valentine family, Lastakis family, Ward family, Watanabe family, Pelchel family, Yabuki family, Yafuso family, Yastake family, Yokozuka family, Yun family, Yuasa family, Zumwalt family. Voyageur family, Bullock family, King family, Spencer family, Windsor family. Thank you all for watching, guiding, and protecting us in our daily lives. We also honor those who passed in the month of October. Konkokyo Tamamizu Kyokai Shodai Gosonpu sama, father of the founding minister of the Tamamizu Church, Yukawa Yasube no Mitama no Kami, 150 years. Konkokyo Namba Kyokai Shodai Fujin, the founding minister's wife of the Namba Church, Kondo Umeko Miyushi Magokoro Tamatsuyu Hime no Mitama no Kami. Konkokyo Shataru Kyokai Shodai Fujin, the founding minister's first wife of the Seattle Church, Hideshima Yasoji Hime no Mitama no Kami. Konkokyo Sone Kyokai Nidai Kyokai Cho, the second head minister of the Sone Church, Katashima Kokichi Ushi no Mitama no Kami. Konkokyo San Jose Kyokai Nidai Kyokai Cho, the second head minister of the San Jose Church, Yamada Fusako Hime no Mitama no Kami. Konkokyo Tengachaya Kyokai Nidai Kyokai Cho Chonan, the eldest son of the second head minister of the Tengachaya Church, Shimizu Koki Magokoro Mitsunori Hiko no Mitama no Kami. Konkokyo Honolulu Kyokai Sandai Kyokai Cho Fujin, the third head minister's wife of the Honolulu Church, Yoshino Sugaku Otoji no Mitama no Kami, 3 years. Konkokyo Shinmei Kyokai Yondai Kyokai Cho, the fourth head minister of the Shinmei Church, Tabayashi Nobuhiko Ushi no Mitama no Kami. Elizabeth Hill no Mitama no Kami, 180 years. Miyamoto Ryu no Mitama no Kami. Mary Tig no Mitama no Kami. Laura Marietta De no Mitama no Kami. Annie Carrington Tig no Mitama no Kami, 85 years. Louis Edgar Bevins no Mitama no Kami. George Edward Zumwalt Sr. no Mitama no Kami. Sarah Ann Tig no Mitama no Kami. Lieutenant Commander Charles R. Isaacs no Mitama no Kami. James Junichi Tanaka no Mitama no Kami. Patricia Ann Burwald no Mitama no Kami. Hamakawa Morris Tamagiku Mary no Mitama no Kami, 20 years. U.S. Navy Commissarian Chief Petty Officer Edsel B. Hanlon no Mitama no Kami. Richard Dick Spees Kabuto Okina no Mitama no Kami. Esther Lida de Guzman Cesar no Mitama no Kami, 5 years. Jonathan Mabini Esta no Mitama no Kami, 5 years. Shelley Ann Guira no Mitama no Kami. Josie Wrights Aiken. Stacy Claire no Hime no Mitama no Kami. Roy Ayabe no Mitama no Kami, 3 years. Rosemary Laughlin no Mitama no Kami. Miyamoto Dot no Mitama no Kami. Desiree Ebi no Mitama no Kami, 1 year. Moya Shigeno no Mitama no Kami, 1 year. To the family and individual Mitama called forth this evening, we thank you for your warmth, love, protection, and daily guidance. At this time, we call upon those who lost their lives in environmental calamities, some form of heinous crime, an accident, as well as the wars throughout the world. Please find hope and love in Parent Kami's bosom of love, warmth, grace, and virtue. To all called upon, please receive the offerings placed before you as simple tokens of our appreciation, as well as our hearts and prayers of love, appreciation, and sincerity. We ask that all the Mitama called forth today, please be with their descendants. Please continue to watch over, guide, and protect all of us. And together, let us continue our journey of faith. たまだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親。親の身親の神の支配よ。たまだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親。親の身親の神の支配よ。Now, please raise your heads. Offering of the Tamakushi. Four sincere claps, along with the head officiant. 感謝いたします。ありがとう。ゆかわうましみちてるみはしらうしはいし Appreciation prayer to the founding minister of the Tamamizu Church. はわれはおぐもしたわしきゆかわのうしはや。あわれはおぐもしたわしきゆかわのうしはや。あわれしのぶも懐かしきうましみちてるみはしらうしはや。和歌の浦和の清き深きみ心持ちて。神をい甘い道を尊び。何はえの広き遠きみ思い持ちて。ようは我み人を救いて、道のみ光をわんまかがし、教えの恵みを国かがし、人の世のもとつ道を極め尽くし、神と人と一つなることわりよ。まさやかに教えまつぶさに示したまいし、大き高き右さを尊み祭り、いやび祭らくを、めぐしときこし橋とみそなわして、道の行く手をは松日のいやとに守り、教えの子らが行く末を、 へる月のいやひろに恵みたまえと、かしこみかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. おいよのおいやは、我が悲縁の神、我が神と心尽くしていつきまつらんな。心尽くしていつきまつらんな。尊き御親の神たちよ。海の子のために家の柱を沈め立てたまい初子のために世のなりわいを守り助けたまい。隔離世の見えぬ境にましませども、利益尽くしみの御心は映しよに変わらせたまわず先見たまのまさきく先はえたまい。くしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて、志は薪の柱の動きなくなりわいは結ぶつなめのゆるびなく真心清らんに励み努めしめたまい。うからやからやわらぎやいて、日にけにうらやすく楽しましめたまい。ついに移しよのことを得て、神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい。右尽くしみをこむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるをかしこみかたじけなみみ親の恵みおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを見心も涼やかに聞こしめしたまえと申す。花くしびのみ親の御霊。花くしびのみ親の御霊。花とうとのみ親の神。花とうとのみ親の神。Please open your prayer books to page 19 for the newly departed soul prayer. Spirit of the newly departed, we love you now and forever. Fond memories of you fill our hearts. We shall miss your physical presence. Yet you will remain in our hearts forever. We pray for your eternal happiness. We sincerely pray with heart and soul. As a beloved child of Kami, you were given the gift of life, sought to live it fully each and every day. As you leave your physical form, please listen to our prayers. Whether in your physical or spiritual form, the universe is your eternal home. May you always be blessed with a peaceful heart, and know that you're always embraced by Kami's love. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Oops. Ouch. Sorry, it's just very whatchamacallit, numb. Ooh. 一度入れ for sincere claps。感謝いたします。合唱。ありがとうございました。教祖金光大臣様をはじめ、歴代金光様、初代白神先生、二代白神先生、稲垣貞七先生、湯川康太郎先生、湯川茂先生、湯川康夫先生、湯川正親先生、湯川誠一先生、湯川信直先生、湯川光一先生、湯川則和先生、秀島力松先生、大坪上吉先生、児玉正幸先生、児玉菊江先生、伊藤光先生、高田玉先生、吉高龍右衛門先生、高橋春子先生、それ代わりにご記念上の御取りご記念お願い申し上げたてまつります。それぞれの時はお見限りになりますようにお願い申し上げたてまつります。うちご助かりのお見限りをいただきますようにお願い申し上げたてまつります。それぞれのうちごらが心のお見限りをいただきますようにお願い申し上げたてまつります。サンディエゴ教会、チュラビスタ講社、ウィッタルをする教会メキシコの広前に歓喜によるうちごらが心を神に向かいますように、アバンデンスをお見限りいただきますように、健康、心、財、信心、人間関係のお見限りいただきますように、お礼の応用ができますように、うちごらがお互いに助け合う、祈り合うに、助け合う心になりますように、何卒御取りご記念くださいますよう、お願い申し上げたてまつります。お願い申し上げたてます。ありがとうございます。Please open your prayer books to page 6 for the recitation of the Tenchi Kakitsuke. ひがみ金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え。ひがみ金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え。おかげは我が心にあり。おかげは我が心にあり。今月今日で頼め。今月今日で頼め。Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Oración de Tenchi Kakitsuke. A través de Ikami Konko Daijin, ora Tenchi Kano Kami con todo el corazón. A través de Ikami Konko Daijin, ora Tenchi Kano Kami con todo el corazón. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore ahora en este momento. Ore ahora en este momento. 一度入れ for sincere claps. ありがとうございました。感謝です。Oops. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Aloha, everybody. Mahalo nui for joining us here at the Chula Vista Kōsha's October Tenchi Kane Monthly Ceremony, and in honor of the Mitama. I know that was a pretty long list. It's also an emotional list because there are people on that list that I know very, very, very well. One of them is my best friend, who was just a few years older than me. She would have been 55 this year. And it just pains me to know in 2 years it'll be like 4 years since she passed. Um, but so this particular, and this is for the past 4 years, I've honored her I've continued to honor her always, Um, and last week when we had the I'm sorry, this week when we had our get today's our monthly ceremony for San Diego Church and Whittier Church in Mexico. I spoke about foundations and I spoke on the Mitama and just the little things that we can do to remember them in our lives. And with Stacy, Stacy was such an amazing person who always reminds me of the power of forgiveness, and being the bigger person to find forgiveness for other people. I'm not the perfect friend. I'll never profess to be. I'm not the perfect human being. I'm not the perfect minister. I'm not the perfect teacher. But the one thing I really believe Stacy exemplified was forgiveness. There's a point where we weren't really talking, but I remembered every birthday I always sent flowers and gifts to her on every birthday, and she would find forgiveness. In the last months, few years of her life, I was not allowed to visit her, and it had to be explained to me that the reason why I was not allowed to visit her was because of her condition, and she did not want to see me. She did not want me to see her in the condition that she was in. She wanted me to remember her the way I always remembered her. I hated the fact that she had to separate her. She had to have I would be, if I was in her health condition, I would have been dead a long time ago. But she had this passion for helping people and loving on people and caring about people that she had this. Oh my gosh, it was like a strict diet. Just to have a meal with me, she had to rethink that week's schedule just to have a meal with me. Um, and so every time her memorial service, the day that she passed, or her Meinichi comes up, which is actually on Halloween, I spoil her. I spoil the hell out of her, which means I will go somewhere exquisite to get her something that she could not eat while she was alive. That I know that she wanted to eat, but she couldn't eat. It's something that I never forget to do because she was someone who she was just an extraordinary human being. This month, I think for the past 2 months, some of you may know that next year, the Hawaii and North American diocese will be celebrating 100 years of goyo, or missionary work here. I don't really like that word missionary. It sounds so selfish. Ugh. But anyway, we'll be celebrating 100 years of missionary work. And I'm someone who loves to do research and to try to create stories. And when I do my research, I do, as trained as a researcher, we do our triangulation to make sure that the information is as accurate as possible. And it also means going back to the same source and double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking to make sure maybe there's a nuance I missed, or maybe there's something that I didn't see before. You know, Even before this 100th anniversary committee was formed, Reverend Kyoji Konko, I think I shared with all of you in 2019, in February of 2019, I just received this calling, and it was just weird. The calling said, you need to research the Seattle church. I'm like, I think that's already been done. Why do I got to do anything? But I don't have to do anything. And I shared with all of you. I think I've shared with all of you, researching the Seattle church meant I would have to. There was a minister by the name of Reverend Rikimatsu Hideshima. He quit being a Kongokyo minister. He converted to Christianity. And, for I harbored a great deal of hate towards this man because I thought he had used Konkokyo for his benefit. I thought and I didn't realize this, but there were all these rumors going around about Hideshima Sensei. A ton of rumors spread about him. And I've come to find that these rumors were false rumors. But at that time in 2019, it hit me. I'm like, I had no intentions about wanting to learn about Seattle Church. I had no intentions about wanting to learn about anything about Hideshima Sensei. And I said, leave me alone. I'm not going to do it. Literally, I said that. And you know how you have that mosquito? You ever had that mosquito and it's going around and you try to hit it and you miss it and you hit it and you miss it and it makes an irritating bug sound. It just won't stop. Well, that's what this calling was like. And I was like, you're so irritating. Stop it. I don't know if this is kami-sama. I don't know if this is mita. I don't know what this calling is. Stop it. To the point that I even swore at it, and this mosquito would not stop. I and begrudgingly, and I use that word begrudgingly, purposely use it. I said, fine, whatevers, whatevers. That was my attitude at that time. Whatever. And I began the research with the databases, all the databases I had access to. And I've shared this before with all of you. About 2 months later, in April, I come to learn that his first wife, Yasoji Hime, passed away 6 years after, I think, if I'm correct, it was 6 years after she arrived in the United States. And that killed me. My icy heart, my icy, icy, icy heart towards Hideshima Sensei just melted. Just melted. I literally cried, and I apologized to Sensei. Yet I had not even, that was just the tip of the iceberg that I would discover. Just the tip of the iceberg. Around that time, Bobby Sensei, he's the present head minister of the Seattle church, had sent a request to Reverend Kyoji Konko. Kyoji Sensei is he is the fifth Konko-sama's second son. He's also done a great deal of research about the history of missionary work and ministers here in North America. Specifically, his specific focus was actually in the Pacific Northwest. And as I was researching, I was sharing things with Kyoji Sensei that I found, and he's like, where is this coming from? How are you getting this? He was being totally like, whoa. And so he sent an email back to Bobby Sensei saying, ask Todd Sensei Bobby Sensei sent to him, where is the grave of Hideshima Sensei? I'd like to go to that grave. Kyoji Sensei had no clue. Kyoji Sensei said, ask Todd Sensei. Bobby Sensei then turns to me and I'm like, why? Why are you asking me? I'm not even from here. I'm from Hawaii. Why would you even ask me? I thought it was like a dumb question. Why would you ask me? That should have been solved a long time ago. You are from here. Your ministers are all from here. That should have been solved a long time ago. And so I told Bobby Sensei, okay, if I ever find it, I'll let you know. In this process of research, slowly things have been, it's like an onion, one layer after another layer just keeps coming off, and I've been finding new and powerful information, things that I have never known about, things that many people here have never known about, things that strike my heart, things that just shock me, things that have helped me to garner a greater appreciation for these ministers, for these lay people, to learn about their sacrifice and dedication. When we talk about moto taisutsu ni suru, remembering, respecting, honoring our foundation, it also means telling their story, remembering their story, not forgetting where we come from. I can't help but to think, my bestie, Stacy, had such an impact on me. I remember working on my doctorate and she was there. She goes, Todd, I am here for you. I'm going to check in. This was when she was much healthier. As she would text me, she'd call me in the middle of me writing or researching something. She goes, I'm just making sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I'm doing it. I promise I'm doing it. She goes, fine, bye. And she'd hang up the phone. It took her passing for me to realize slowly I've begun learning the power of forgiveness, forgiving other people, finding a kinder way of looking at things. I really do miss her. I miss her, like, I truly do. And for me, she is called out. In fact, her name is called out every morning when I pray in front of the altar. I call out the names of people. Her family name is called out, as I never want to forget her. She was someone who so incredible. She knew I was a minister. She held me to high standards, and yet she knew I like to do stupid stuff. Um, she knew I had a playful soul within me. You know? And that's why I always remember her. And that's why this particular service, this monthly service here, not our monthly memorial service for the church, but the Kōsha, this service is the closest to her mainichur, the day that she passed. And so it becomes a very, for me, it's a very, very almost melancholy, natsukashi, nostalgic. It's to some extent somewhat sad service for me, because I recall that she's gone. But I also have to remember there's a bunch of names that were written, called out. One of them was Hideshima Sensei's first wife, who passed away in this month as well. And I think I've shared with you that when I found her grave, which was right next to Hideshima Sensei's grave, I didn't go to Hideshima Sensei's grave first. I actually walked over right next door. I cried. I cried because for 3 years, I had been looking for Yasoji, using every bit of resource I had. And it was Hideshima Sensei who led me to her. When our foundation, this is why I like the first of the month. As you know, here at this church, we do the Otsuitachi Onre Gokinen, which is an appreciation prayer for the first of the month, where we remember the blessings, the favors. It allows us the opportunity to reflect. And it's an opportunity to help us to reflect on the relationships we've had with people past and present, those who are gone, those who might be in our future, could be a child on the way, who knows. Our present relationships, our jobs, our lives, our faiths, our relationship with Kami-sama. That Otsui Tachi, that the first of the month prayer service allows us to reflect. And I hope all of you take that opportunity to use that as an opportunity to reflect. It makes sense, though, why the churches in Hawaii honored that first of the month, where that was the one day where people if you only came once a month to church, that was the day to come to church. People drove all the way from Waianae. If you don't know where Waianae is, it's all the way to the west side of Oahu. There's only one way in, one way out. That's only one route. And if you had to come during a time when you did not have full-on bus service, that the roads were not the best roads, we didn't have freeways, that was like close to one way was like 2 hours or more. By bus, longer. And that was the day many of our members who were from Waianae and Nanakuli would come to church on the first of the month. Can you imagine? It offered them the opportunity to reflect on the blessings and the favors, the relationships, what's going on in their lives, how Kami-sama has interceded. It allows us to remember our foundation. So I thank all of you for joining me today, this evening. For joining me in offering appreciation to Kami-sama, offering appreciation to our ancestors, allowing me to remind myself about someone so precious to me. But I hope in my remembering that, Stacy, you can recall someone so precious to you, whether it be your parents, a bestie of your own, a sibling who was just too good to be true. I pray that you get that opportunity tonight, or maybe on the 1st. And soon, this month is this autumn season is the season of Ikami Konko Daijin Grand Ceremonies. That if you get to attend, please, you ain't watching me right now for no reason at all. There's a reason why your family entered into this faith, or you were attracted to this faith. And it's because if Ikami Konko Daijin was not in existence, you would not be watching. You would not be at any church. You would not have been exposed to the Konko faith or exposed to the idea of Toritsugi. Nothing. And this is why we hold a special grand ceremony. So if you get that opportunity to reflect on your faith, please make sure that if there is a grand service near you, please take that opportunity to attend it in person if at all possible. And if not, be blessed and know that hopefully if they're doing it live on the internet or something, be blessed knowing that it's being done live. And this is why I do our services live. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to reflect. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to just share my heart and to reflect on my foundations. And my prayer is that you will reflect on yours. Please note that this Saturday, if I'm correct, this Saturday is the 1st. I'm guessing totally here. I think it's the 1st. I could be wrong. But this coming Sunday will be the San Diego Whittier Rose Hills Church of Mexico Hiromai's monthly ceremony as well. It'll be both the Tenchi Kane no Kami monthly ceremony as well as our Mitama Matsuri. And then the following week, I will be going to Gardena for their grand ceremony. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please take care. Please stay safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Go eat some ice cream. And if you're ever here, I'll take you to a wonderful ice cream place or a wonderful pot pie place. But have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And thank you once again. Thank you, Dale. Good night, everybody. Ahui ho. Malama pono.